Hi, everybody, and welcome to a very special Blame It on Marketing episode. If you're tuning in live, we're live on LinkedIn right now. If you're listening to this in the future, then also welcome. This is Blame It on Marketing's 100th episode. Yay!
Exciting.
Also, I was about to say that we're 3 years old, like me and you are 3 years old, Ruta,
We
but
are.
feels like it sometimes. But Blame It on Marketing is also 3 years old, so you have tolerated us for 3 entire years. Congratulations to you. And a special thanks to everyone who has been on the podcast over the last 3 years and has been following along for the ride. So welcome.
If this is 100th episode, we probably have had 100 guests, right? Because we do multiples and whatnot. So that's wild. A
It's
lot of new
insane.
internet friends. We love that for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a good journey. It's been a good journey. We've met some incredible people along the way. So before we get started, we've got a topic that we're going to discuss, which is all to do with things that have happened over the course of the podcast. So 3 years worth of podcast, things that haven't really changed in marketing. And then we'll have a little discussion about whether we think there's anything we could do differently.
Yeah, absolutely. I am desperately trying to rename this thing on LinkedIn, but I don't think I can, so whatever.
Worry about it later, mate. So let's start off. Should we start off with a marketing confession route or anything you want to confess to this morning?
Fuck, have I done something this morning? Hey,
I was gonna-
Clark, why are you awake?
I was going to say about you not setting this up in time.
Yeah, yes. So Emma and I have been on tour, basically on conferences, and in the small windows between that, we've been doing work. And the day that I was meant to set this up a week ago, Canva was down, so it's not really my fault if you really think about it. What about you, Ems?
Oh God, if I fucked anything up this week.
It's only Thursday.
It's only Thursday, but I do think that because we have been on tour and it's been hardcore. Yesterday I couldn't hide that I wasn't in a great mood. So I definitely let my bad day behaviour show yesterday. We're just like, yes,
She
you
was-
did.
It was not a happy bunny, but we made it work. Clark's been up all night building something, so that's nice. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, hi, Clark.
Clark's been on the podcast before, so if you haven't listened to his episode, please do.
Please do.
But let's jump into what we wanted to talk about today, which is we've done 100 episodes. We've spoken about all the shit, and it doesn't feel like all that much has changed in the last 3 years when it comes to those issues. So maybe we can pick like a couple of our top things that really haven't changed and really irk us to get us going. Do you want to start? I've got one.
Oh,
I think
I've got one
we
too.
might match. You go. We're probably going
I'm
to have the
gonna-
same ones.
Probably, but that's okay. I think they're probably the same issues. I mean, let's start off nice and gently, shall we? Let's not give everyone a heart attack to start with. We'll probably get deeper as this goes on. But obviously, the first ever episode of Blame It on Marketing was with our good friend Will Hand, who's been on a couple of times, and we were talking about making stuff go viral. And I can't believe after 3 years that people still think that is something that we can just make happen, and it drives me wild. I'm like, there's no amount of like planning or content creation, like apart from consistency, obviously, is gonna make something go viral. So like, why
Didn't
are
we
people
also
still
have a
asking?
conversation? We had like a conversation last week where someone was like, their boss asked them to make it go viral, and we were like, no, come on,
Yeah.
surely we're done with that now. But no, apparently not. Also, if anyone has gone viral out there, can you please explain to people that it's not what you think it usually is in terms of like actually then getting business and converting and all of those things, because I think people forget that. If you've made a nice video that is very watchable, it doesn't mean that it's relevant to your business or will bring you any new business anyway. So
Anything you would do differently? Like, is there anything we as marketers could be doing differently? Apart from being like, that's not how it works.
no,
We're fine, are we?
we're fine. No, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's hard. Well, I feel like, you're immediately triggered when someone says that. That's the real problem. You're like, it's happened, right? So then you're like, you let it rip. So that's the problem, isn't it? So maybe just take a deep breath, and I would just go back with questions. If I was handling this in the best way I could, just be like, what do you mean by that? What would you like to go viral? How would you like me to do that? just pretend to be a therapist.
I think my new way to handle that would be to hand whoever asks for it a 5-year social media strategy and a budget
It's very
that's
passive
like
aggressive.
of like maybe 2026 is the year of passive aggressive moves by marketers. I don't know.
You're clearly in a very good mood, just very well rested, very not tired.
Very not tired, very in the mood for people saying stupid things. When people
Yeah.
say there are no stupid questions, that's one of them. That is a stupid question. So yeah, my PASAG answer is hand them a 5-year strategy and a budget to match shows what it looks like to post every day for 5 years, and then say, we hope at the end of the 5 years we'll have gone viral.
Yeah. Yeah. Clark just mentioned that he had 1.5 million impressions on a LinkedIn video and it was the worst engagement of his life. If you want to expand on that, aka, what happened, what did it do for you, what did it not do for you, that'd be great. Because it's not what it is usually.
No.
Unless you're on TikTok making stupid videos, you can't top that later. It won't make sense. But anyway, that's
Okay, what's yours? What's next on the list?
I'm gonna go. You are all still just salespeople that are looking after sales.
Not everyone.
For the most part, except for 3
Timmy.
people. Yeah, Timmy, and I'm giving 2 more people a chance here. Timmy is our absolute CRO model god situation. Again, he's done an episode. We've done an episode on this with Timmy, so please go watch it. I'll try and get all the links together at some point. But I think CROs are still very much senior salespeople that this was their next promotion, essentially. And for me, a CRO is a person that looks after customer success, looks after new business, and also looks after product, because product is how you make your revenue. And you find that very, very rarely. And from all of the CROs, again, we've come across through 5 years of consulting, Timmy is the only one that has even got close to doing all of that. He's doing all of that. So yeah, I think that role is still not working the way it should be.
Yeah, agreed. It needs a rethink. I think it's interesting as well that the role hasn't changed. The attitude towards it hasn't really changed from the sort of from a board level position. And also we just keep going into the same cycles of doom. Mm-hmm. And that's what companies do. And it's we need pipe. We haven't hit our revenue target. We're being unrealistic, but we expect it all to come from new business. We're not, and then we fire people, and then we hire people, and then we go through the same cycle of doom again. Don't get me wrong, it's how I make my living, going in and telling people that you need to get out of the cycle of doom, but just
also,
a little bit of something.
Hiring someone for 150 to 200k that is basically a very senior salesperson that's not going to sell themselves anymore is probably not the best spend of money at most stages of your startup life. I don't know about later, whatever, corporate, you do you, boo. But there is nothing they can do for that much money, given that you could hire, 4 salespeople for that much money? Or 4 marketers, or you could spend that much money on marketing. Not to be biased, but it's not a good investment. And
Or
I think
actual decent salespeople who are actually going to be selling and make that money back.
Yeah, exactly.
Wild.
And also, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the lifespan of a CRO is very short, and I think that's very indicative of the problem of the role and the kind of people that end up in the role. That's why you're there for 12 to 18 months and then you're back out doing something else. So yeah. How would you solve this, Emma? Because you love a CRO firing.
I don't have a reputation. I actually think you choose how you want to fix this issue, right? But I actually just think maybe stop calling them chief revenue officers.
Bold.
If you want to have a VP of sales and you want to have a VP of marketing, that's all good. That's not a CRO. A CRO, like you say, is responsible for revenue. All revenue. So either stop calling them that, or we make a new job that's you are chief new business officer and your job is over there. Yeah. But I think maybe it's that. Maybe it's a restructuring issue. But I do think there is a place for somebody in a business.
Yeah, absolutely.
That does look after
does.
I think a lot of founders and CEOs and boards get this wrong, which is that there is a desperate need to have that person that ties all of your revenue together at the top, that cares about product, that cares about renewals and retention, and that they are not separate things. You know, that is like one thing. That's how your business grows. So yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
The new business person and make it very clear that's their remit, and yeah, bring in someone who's actually going to look after the whole
I feel like
spectrum.
in a way, like
Yeah.
CS and ops and marketing are sometimes better suited for that role than sales, because sales can very much shut themselves off and just work on their numbers, whilst the rest of us kind of still have to stay involved with things, because it's very hard to make anything happen if you're not involved with at least other bits of the business. Yeah, that one needs a revamp in 26 for sure.
Definitely. Okay.
What's the next thing on
So
the list?
next, pipeline. Driving pipeline is not a marketing strategy.
No.
Nor is it actually a business strategy.
No.
As our very good friend Timmy we've already talked about. He's the CRO of Charlie HR, by the way. If you want to go and check him out, you can go and connect with Timmy. He said on the podcast, you know, revenue is a proxy for value, and that has stayed with me since he said it, which might have been like
2 years ago or something.
But pipeline is not your strategy. You don't need more pipeline. That's not how you grow. And also, like we all know across, especially we work in B2B SaaS a lot, we can see people are like, oh, I've got like a huge pipeline, but I can't convert any of it because sales cycles are really slow and the economy is crap and all of that stuff. So I don't think, I mean, obviously you can have a pipeline target, but let's make it a realistic one for a start. That's not a sword to die on, you know, and it's not a strategy. And it doesn't actually help your people perform better. What it does is just freaks everyone out.
Role, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you have to. Pipeline is like the result of lots of things happening. It's not the thing you're doing, if that makes sense. So if you've not got the bank of things you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing that, then like there will be no pipeline, because you're just going to be probably email spamming people and cold calling and hoping for the best. You know,
how should
that's what you end up doing.
How should we fix it? Business strategy, then marketing strategy, and then business goals and marketing goals, and sales strategy and sales goals, if we want to go like the whole way. The amount of times that we talk to people that don't have a marketing strategy is shocking, but the amount of times we talk to people that don't know what their business strategy is as like a head of marketing, because there is not one. It's a whole other can of worms. It's insane. So yeah, having those in place, super critical. If you're a senior person, push for it. Get them to, I don't know, measure what matters, or like OKR books or whatever. Just like get them on the roll with that, because it will completely change how you look at work. Yeah. I also think it's not that complicated, right? Because you start with your customer and what your customer wants and what your customer needs. Then you have an ideal, and you've got your ideal customer profile from that, the people you're actually selling to. And then it's, what do those people want and what do they need? And that dictates product, that should dictate sales, that should dictate marketing, everything. It's not that difficult. Like, it's just not. So if we can't, that's where we start, for me.
I think the task is not necessarily difficult, but sitting down and making a decision and sticking to it is. Does that
You gotta have
sense?
some.
You gotta bet on something.
You've got to definitely have some resilience, but I think the companies that are the most successful do that.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
They're not all, like, believe it or not, I know like this is something else that I'd probably like to throw into the hat. I'm skipping because I've now chosen 2 in a row, but I feel like this leads on and I feel like you're going to accept it. Is the whole like premise that as a CEO, as a founder, or just a senior person, that you should be firefighting all the time? Like, that's not how it should be. That's not healthy. That's not also how you grow a business. Like, that's how you get into the cycle of doom that we described earlier.
Yeah. That's just a surefire way to burn out everyone that's good on your team in 12 months. If you want that, then go for it. That is how you get there. If that is the plan, that is exactly how to do it. Yeah, in tech and in dev especially, there's the concept of sprints, right? So you have these like intense 2 weeks or whatever time period where you're trying to achieve something and get something done. But what comes after a sprint is a break and a retrospective. And we have somehow just forgot to do that bit. And we just have like sprint to sprint to sprint. And you can't do that. You have to have a break, and you have to have a breathing moment to actually like work on stuff and to think about things, and not just to be like hammering your keyboard trying to fix whatever is broken. And if you're a founder and you feel like you're, always firefighting, that also applies to you. Like, you are the founder and you might feel like you need to take all of that on. But essentially, when you're the founder, like, there's much more valuable things you could be doing with your time than firefighting every single email that might be coming through from a customer not wanting to log in, or whatever the problem is. So yeah, I think that's a really good shout, Ems, and yeah, not something that has changed very much in the last 3 years.
Oh,
how would you go about fixing that?
I do think the one thing that I do think is like the founder or the CEO, the person at the top of the food chain, is that you do actually have the choice, whether you feel like you do or not. Like, you do. You probably have really good people around you already. So maybe it is literally a like, we're going to do things differently in 2026 conversation. And it is kind of like committing to a business strategy. You can find great people out there to help you. Like, you don't have to do this on your own. If you need coaching, if you need therapy, if you need business coach, all of those things exist for you.
I love that you're like, you probably need therapy.
You probably do. If you think
that
if you think that firefighting is the only way to live your life, or the only way to run your business, then like, you probably do need some help. And I mean that with care and respect.
I don't know if we've cancelled Tim Ferriss, but go read 4 Hour Work Week if you want to read about someone firefighting and then just being like, nah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't know if we've cancelled him yet, but I'll Google later.
Okay, we'll check.
Yeah.
What else do you think, from your point of view, hasn't really changed?
Did we speak about this recently? I don't know. I've been with Emma the whole month basically, so I can't remember anymore. But I think the like weird obsession around video like is still a thing. It's like, oh, we need to do more video. And I swear we've been saying that for much longer than 3 years. We've been saying that since like I started my marketing career basically. And we're still all saying that. And like, especially on LinkedIn is like still trying to say that video is like the best content, but then the reach is not there for video anymore. So like, I feel like if you're not on the video train by now, you're probably not going to get on it.
I also feel like I also feel like the video, this will lead into one of my other things that I'm slightly dubious about, but the video obsession as well is like, and we talked about this when we have made podcasts about this topic, is that like, video is just a format.
Yeah.
It's not the theme or the topic or the content. That's the thing that matters.
Yeah.
The
Agreed.
format is whatever the best format is for the thing that you're trying to achieve. So I find it very weird when people are like, we need to do more video. Okay, but why? We're still having that conversation. It's weird.
And also it depends if like your audience likes video. Like when we work in HR tech a lot, and video's fine, but like, we don't need to do video. We can get away with written content pretty much exclusively, like if we wanted to. Like, I don't think it would harm, marketing efforts all that much if that was the case, Yeah,
so, I think it's, and also it's what's appropriate, isn't it? It's like in that example of the HR tech one, the thing that audience want to hear, they don't want people who are not in HR talking to them about their jobs, because they're like, what do you know? You run a tech company, piss off. And so I can completely, and I think a lot of us probably feel that way actually, but that, the only people they want to hear from are the people that are either doing the same job as them or have overcome the challenges that they've actually overcome. So whatever medium that comes in is fine.
Totally fine.
As long as it's authentic, it's actually come from the people who have got the challenges. So yeah.
And as two people that have been posting videos for the last 3 years every single week, like consistently because of the podcast, like, one, it's a lot of work, and two, like, the results are nice, but they're not anything like groundbreaking. Maybe we're just shit, who knows. But like, it is what it is, right? Like, it's not some magic bullet that will fix all of your marketing problems by any means whatsoever.
No, it's a great thing to have, like we say, if it actually supports your audience. Like if we were listening to Janice Thomas yesterday, at the AI generative AI conference, and she
Lovely.
was talking about. We love her, just to say, hopefully she hears this. But just to say that, like, she was just talking about how she worked for a makeup brand and, you know, doesn't matter how many eyeliner tutorials they put out, the audience
Always
still
wanted
wanted more and more,
Yeah.
more tutorials, please. And that I can completely understand. It
Yep.
makes sense. That's what people want. That's how people learn. But yeah, if it's not for those purposes, like, why you
Yeah.
don't,
If it's not
why?
like, if the format isn't helping with the information you're trying to relay, it doesn't actually matter. Like, I think that's the same way, like, the podcast is great and we have video, but if it was just audio or just written, it would still totally work because it still relays the same information, right?
I think
Like,
people like to see how pissed off we look.
true that. The facial expressions help, but you know, like, it's a small part of, you know, everything. Like, if it was just facial expressions, it wouldn't make sense, right? It still needs the content. Yeah. So what's your follow on?
My next one is, it's tied into this because we ran a session recently for some small business owners where we were talking about personal brand. And now when you run a small business or you're growing a brand, obviously personal brand, you know, it exists whether you kind of want it to or not. But I think the point that we were trying to make was that it's not the be all and end all. You know, because ultimately, if you have a large personal brand, but it is not converting anyone into actual business for you, it doesn't have to be the way that you do marketing. Doesn't have to be the only way. And then when there were people in the room who have got huge personal brands, you know, and then you hear about the work and the effort it took to get them to that point where it did start to convert into work for them. And we're talking about 5 years. So that's no overnight success. They're not unicorns. They're not magical people. They didn't find the magic lead tree.
Yeah.
They worked at
Still
it.
looking. Still
Yeah,
looking.
still looking.
Yeah. Still looking.
So
Yeah.
I think that to me is not going, that feeling and that pressure that people put on themselves to have this certain personal brand thing. I don't
And I think as
buy
well,
it.
like, it's not for everyone, right? Like, not
Yeah,
everyone feels comfortable posting, like, you know,
you don't
we
have
happen to
to.
be, yeah, we happen to be comfortable with it, and I'm like a YouTube child, so this is great for me, like, all the fantasy. But for a lot of people, they don't want to post crap on LinkedIn. They don't want to add to it. They don't want to, like, you know, I'm not saying that everyone posts crap, but you know, like, just add to the noise of everything. And that's okay. You don't have to do that. And like, if you did something consistently for 5 years, every single day, the way that, like, we're talking about the people that we're met in terms of personal brand, a lot of things would work if you consistently did them every day for 5 years.
Yeah.
Whether it's like just messaging people or connecting with people, or whether it's publishing a blog every day for 5 years, like, oh my God, like, you would make some huge progress, like, in your marketing and in getting customers. So yeah, like, it's absolutely not the be end at all. And also, the more people selling personal brand there is, or the more people are selling a thing, the more of a red flag it is for me, because it's usually just a thing that is easy to sell rather than a thing that is going to, you know, get you the success that you think it is. Because, you know, there's infinite resources out there on that, and it's the LinkedIn viral to course pipeline, essentially. And some people do it really well, like, no shade. Like, some people do it really well. Like, we've had Leah Turner on the podcast. She's awesome. Like, she's built a whole thing around this, and I totally get that. But yeah, just watch out on who you're trusting on that information.
That's it. It's the proof in the pudding, isn't it? It's like Leah is someone who she knows what she's talking about. So it's not fake. You know,
Yeah.
she's not selling you something that isn't
And as she says,
achievable.
you need to see the receipts. If you're not posting about how successful your clients are and what they're doing, then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
And
doing?
then also, I think it's that, and I do understand that it's this thing where it's like, well, marketing's really expensive, so I'm just going to try and do this thing myself. But again, as we sort of talked about in this session with these small business owners, we were sort of like, well, there is a line, there is a limit for all of us in marketing, you know, even as generalists and even as people who are senior and who've done a lot of different jobs and a lot of different campaigns. There is a line that we do not cross, which is I no longer know how to do this thing, and I do not cross it unless I'm prepared to put in the effort to learn
Yeah, and do it right.
and do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a really interesting conversation yesterday at the end of the Gen AI event, which was like, oh, we're just adding this whole AI expert onto marketing now, aren't we? Like, it's just another thing we're going to need to do. And we were like,
Yep.
oh, yeah, fuck, yeah. And, again, some of us are cool with that. Some of us love it and like to nerd out and like to do that stuff. Not everyone's going to want to, and that's okay. So if you need help,
Yeah.
get the help you need.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to break the bank. And, you can be sensible and talk to people and figure out who's good and how much you should pay for stuff and all of that stuff. Yeah. But personal brand is not the be-all and end-all of small business marketing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's next for you?
Let me have a think. I want to say sales and marketing alignment because it's just an unsolvable problem. But I also don't want to talk about it because it's such a thing, So I'm trying to think of a backup option.
I think we should talk about it because I'm
Should we talk
still
about it?
yeah, because it's still not there.
No.
It to me, it's fallen into the camp of unacceptable. It just isn't.
But that's where the good CRO needs to happen because they're the people that are supposed to be able to bring these teams together because they understand the whole picture. Anyway, it's a tag-on problem from the CRO problem.
They're going to get in the bin with the crap CR.
Yeah, and the shit sales and marketing alignment.
Yeah. It kind of falls, it all falls, there is this awful category of our podcast and marketing conversations, which are these people don't understand marketing.
No.
And and there's like a whole camp of them
Yep.
over there.
Yep.
Sales people, CROs, CEOs, board members. I mean, there's some bad board behavior going on out there, I think, at the moment.
Oh my God. Also, yesterday, who was it that said that board members are like the most naive people when it comes to deep fakes? And I was like,
Oh, yes, that was
oh,
quite
girl.
entertaining.
Oh, girl. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, not at all. I just think, yeah, the fact that we're still, I mean, it's great because our podcast still exists 3 years in. Like the fact that we've still got loads of people who don't understand. Yeah. We're still, you and I are still touring the talk constantly of like why marketing get blamed.
Yep.
What the fuck do we do about that?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the main summary point. Blaming up marketing is still happening. The concept of blaming marketing is still happening. Like 3 years after the podcast started, not saying that like everyone's listened to our podcast, so it should stop, but like it's still a thing, still alive and well. Yeah.
It's it goes back to the doom cycle though for me.
Yeah.
This is all these problems that we're talking about are all deeply connected.
Yes.
And there might be a few people who are listening and going, oh yeah, but is it ever good anywhere? And I think there's always going to be, look, it's work.
Yeah.
It's not ever going to be 100%, but like, I do have faith. We have worked with clients who are grown-ups who do this shit properly. And if they don't have if they're struggling, they will take the time to stop, sit and listen.
Yeah.
And that is as much as anyone can do, I think.
And to actually like genuinely try and understand instead of just being like, oh, well, that's just not how it is, or like, oh, it's not working. Like actually trying to be like, oh, okay, cool. These are all the factors affecting this thing, and it's, complicated, and wherever you're going to go with that conversation.
Yeah. It's tiring though, isn't it?
Yeah. As a marketer, doing the internal marketing comms it's bloody exhausting. Like, I feel like us in HR, like, I need to stop talking to you about why I'm qualified and I'm good at doing my job. Like, I just don't want to do that anymore.
I don't want to explain myself.
Don't want to do that. Yeah.
That's a hard one. I think that's it, isn't it? It's like after 3 years. I mean, I really hope, I know that there are some very good CEOs and investors and other people that listen to this podcast and others that are really try. But all I want for Christmas is for someone not to ask me any of these questions ever again.
Yeah, I was going to say just for Christmas because that's like a very short, doable day. No one's going to message you anyway. Like,
we're done.
Be specific.
I think if I could have that, Men in Black thing where you could just, forget you ever thought you knew something about marketing when you didn't.
Yeah. Should we wrap up there? I think.
Yeah. Marketing gossip.
Marketing gossip. My God.
We've got to do marketing gossip.
I know it's so weird when like we have to do it because usually our speakers.
I have got gossip.
Yeah.
I've got gossip because obviously, like I said, we've, not to keep harping on about the fact we've been on tour. But we've obviously spent the last couple of days at a Gen AI marketing conference, and there were a lot of great speakers there. But the conversation, I think, my gossip or my takeaway from that entire thing is we are not anywhere near where some people are making out we are with AI
Yes.
in terms of its usage, its implementation, the governance processes around it. And I would say that people should be kinder to themselves and others about their usage, and especially the governance side around it as well. Like, you cannot expect people to understand EU regulations about AI tech. We will take
No.
it seriously,
Yeah.
but we need help
A lot of it.
on the
Yeah.
journey to
Yeah, yeah.
understanding it.
Yeah, I think one thing that stood out from Fiona, God, Sherwood, am I
Yes.
all right?
Homegirl
Look at
Fiona.
me. I'm rubbish at remembering surnames. Fiona was like, "You're not too late. You haven't missed the boat. It hasn't gone. You're not too late. Everyone is not out there like building agents and vibe coding and all of that stuff. Like that's completely not the world we're in as marketers. So like, you're not too late. Start now. You're good."
Also, isn't vibe? Do you know what I hate? I hate the term vibe coding. I hate it. I think it's
I know.
fucking stupid.
I know.
It's just basically a way of being like, I played around with something.
I went on Lovable, put in a prompt, and got a HTML site. Oh my god, I'm now vibe coding. That's not. Yeah, no.
It's not a thing. It's not. It just
not a
you
thing.
know, again, just
Also-
stop making things feel exclusatory.
Yes. Also, as both Emma and I are in deep in terms of when it comes to tech and understanding tech, because we have tech businesses, vibe coding is extremely limited unless you want something to just function as a site that takes some information on the site. As soon as you have to do any processing power, any understanding, any calling of different things, different data, like it's not good enough. So yes, you can build a cute little form, basically, with different variations of forms, but like it's not there, so don't worry about it. You're all good.
Stop calling it vibe coding.
I know, but it's a
Pretentious.
thing now. I feel like,
No.
unfortunately, it's gonna stay.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Not to me, anyway. Anyway, what's your gossip? Quickly.
My gossip is I don't know how like world crumbling I want to go. Maybe that's not the vibe for today. I'm going to stick with the Gen AI theme because obviously we were there for 2 days, so it's all very relevant and fresh. I'm going to go with people keep saying human in the loop, and I completely agree. It's AI in the loop or AI in the workflow. It's not the other way around. And also, if we're replacing people and then firing them, we're just going to crash the economy, guys. So like, let's not do that, because if there's no one to buy stuff, then we won't be making money, and then, like all of that shit crumbles. So yeah.
But don't worry, because the trillionaires will just be trillionairing.
Trillionairing, yeah.
It's all great. Don't worry about us.
Yeah. So let's bear that in mind as a business community, that work is there so that other people can consume things, so that the world kind of keeps chugging along.
Yeah, I definitely your point. We obviously at the conference this came up a lot because they say human in the loop constantly, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah,
because it's like you're making it sound like it's AI first and human second, and it's like,
no, you're still prompting the AI to begin
no. Last time I checked, anyway, I still had a pulse. So
I still have to tell chat what I wanted, not the other way around.
Yeah, not the other way around. So, and maybe we'll get to a point where that is what's going on with agents and stuff. But at the same time, it's not necessarily a world that I want to live in. Like when you break down the basics of what you actually really want as a customer, it sure as shit isn't that. So remember that.
Remember that, everyone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ems. I think we've had a great chat about this, and maybe we'll do another one of these in another 100 episodes. Oh my god, do you think we're going to get to 200 episodes? That sounds crazy.
In my head, I just went, how old will I be? Because my brain can't compute.
3 years. Whatever that.
At that point, I will just be plugged into ChatGPT. Like,
it will be ChatGPT, it won't be Emma or Ryan.
Yeah.
It will just be our avatars. Synesthesia. Synthesia, I can never fucking say it. If you want to sponsor us, we're here for you.
probably swear less. That'd be boring, though.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this live. If you're here live, thank you so much for posting and saying hello. And we're going to upload this, so if you missed this, you'll have it on the podcast normal channels anyway. And yeah, have a great rest of your week, everyone.